over, and we've got some special guests. We've got Amphis and After Dark Scrub. How's it going, mate?
Yeah, it's been going pretty good. Pretty good. Just on a side note, Amphis, I do have Far Cry 6 installed. I probably shouldn't have said on the stream.
Cheers,
But
You can say whatever you want.
We'll play it after
It's not
stream.
my stream.
Yeah, sure.
Jake,
Oh.
how you doing? How did you feel about the second event?
It was good, man. It was fun. I didn't realize, we'd be in the cave with Scrub, or else I wouldn't have bothered bringing out all my lighting. But yeah, I'm
It is a
chilling,
bit
man.
dark.
I turned mine off, but I don't know if it'll screw with the green screen.
It would, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
I
Oh.
can't even try and be as
Wait, let me try and get a
as
lighter.
gamer den as Scrub right now.
It is pretty dark in my room. Hold up.
Hey, that's better. That's great. I like that. Oh.
It's just instantly darker.
Amphis, what happened? What happened to Event 2? I thought you guys were going to get the Grand Slam.
Yeah, nah, that regional like sucked. I hate regional twos because, we lost. No,
Split
it was,
2,
it was-
regional 2. You just hate the
Yeah.
number 2.
Yeah, it just sucks really. We hated it that much. We didn't want to finish second either.
Yeah.
No, we were just bad the whole regional, to be honest. But at least it's interesting for the viewers now because it's so even.
It's spicy, man. Definitely thank you for that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, for those at
Thank you to
home who
Tango.
don't know, it's a three-way tie. And given there's no teams outside of the top 3 teams at the moment, it's whoever makes it into the grand final will end up getting the spot for the major. And when it comes to Ground Zero and Power, they're fighting for the spot for Worlds. So if only one of them make it, then they go to Worlds. Or if both of them make it, then it might go to a battle at the actual major itself for Worlds. So it's a pretty insane situation for, at least for the top 3.
How far Power ahead of Ground Zero in terms of like worlds?
One
4
placing.
points, one placement.
Oh, bit
Oh, not a
scary,
lot,
Amphis.
man.
Bit scary,
Yeah.
Amphis.
No, it's not ideal, is it? Considering we had a split head start, but it's all good.
Well, you just beat them this weekend. You could have been 12 points ahead of them.
Yeah, I know. I knew going in. Don't worry.
I'm just
It's
rubbing it in a
unfortunate.
little bit,
Yeah, no,
unfortunately.
we deserve it based on how we played.
So that was my takeaway from this weekend. We watched the EU, right? And a lot of people saying, man, that was the best regional of all time. The highest skill regional that we've ever seen. And then I watched it OCE this weekend and I was like, God, that was the most embarrassing regional of all time. Because we had...
I mean, you're embarrassed every regional. Come on.
No, we had a... Stop this, Jay. Because we had a sub literally win it over 2 teams that weren't playing very well whatsoever. And obviously, like, outside of the top 3, we're not getting, like... There's a pretty clear gap at the moment. So, I don't know how you can get more embarrassing than a sub winning. And especially a sub who hasn't won before.
That does make us
Yeah.
look like an uber casual region. Yeah, it's pretty bad.
To be fair, Tango's pretty good. Like,
Yeah,
I reckon
but-
he could join any outside top 3 team and just make them better.
He'd probably be one of their better players. to be
He
fair.
should be joining.
Yeah.
Like he'd be fine if he were like got in there and got you guys like a solid top 3. Looked all right. Join a top 3 team and be top 3. That's fine.
Yeah.
But he actually won the entire event and 4-0 Ground Zero in the grand final. That's where it becomes a little bit too much for me, at least for my liking.
At least you didn't lose to Tango, Amphis. That would have been kind of embarrassing.
I think we would have. If
I
we
mean-
did verse you, I think we definitely would have. I don't know. He was very good that regional, to be fair.
No, he surprised. Like the first series, like we were pretty shaky at the start. Like we were pretty like not playing well. But then in the grand final and stuff, like Tango was feeling himself a bit. Even like at the end of the first series against Ground Zero, he was good. I don't know. He surprised a lot of people, I think.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think I saw Super Lucky on Twitter say that he was like the best enabler in the region right now, or something like that. I can't remember where it was, but I'm pretty sure like he just that's the best I've seen you play Scrub for a fair while. Especially in like
he
the
gave
first
Scrub
2
and
days.
Banana Head some steroids or something.
To be
you
fair,
know?
Yeah.
Scrub played really well on the day before with
Against
Hunter as
Power.
well. So
Yeah.
It was more banana on the Sunday,
Beard
especially
was,
the grand final. The grand final
Yep.
was where he was like going crazy.
Yeah. Definitely.
okay, well,
But yeah,
for those at home, we don't have too much time because Dover A doesn't like streaming properly and B wants it to be done so he can go stream something else improperly. So we're going to get straight into the top 10 now.
He's not committed.
Starting with number 10, and I can't. You guys messed up my rankings. I can tell you that much. I think you've all got dumb luck here. Yeah, dumb luck has been.
I didn't
Oh,
have
mate.
him, Yummy. Amphis and Scrub know something we don't.
Amphis
so-
in particular. Amphis had them at 8. So what's going on? Why are dumb luck so good?
Is that Tonio?
Yeah, Baz
I know they used
Tonio. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I believe it is. I'll be honest. I don't really have the most information on the worst of teams.
They're so good that they can come no better than 9th, 12th in either event and still be top 10. That's it.
Yeah, but I just see the potential. No, I won't lie. I did this based off individual players, and I think
I can see it that way. Yeah.
because
Yeah.
there's a team that is going to be higher than this, and you'll look at the players. I don't know how they've done that well in a regional, to be honest. But
Okay.
you know, we'll
It's
see
a
later
team
on.
game, Amphis. Come on, man.
Yeah, but we'll see. I don't know how they went so well still.
Well, Scrub, what's your excuse then? How come you got him
Where
so
did I
high?
have him?
You
Where did I
had
have him?
you
You
had
had
him
him
high
9.
as well. Yeah, you had him
A
9.
9.
Yeah.
I mean, like, it's kind of the same. Like, individually, like, you see those 3 players, and, like, in comparison to the rest of the region, like, below them, they're, like, pretty good. I don't know. I just see those 3 players and think they're, like, better than the other ones, I guess. So, I don't know. Just not bad.
For me, all my power rankings are very much based off results. They just simply don't have it. Other than if you, I think they had a 3-0 in the closed quals, but no like notable wins. They got close. They almost took down Merge. Or at least they went to Game 5 against Merge this weekend. So I actually had them outside of my top 10.
Yeah. No, I know what Amphis and Scrub are talking about. You definitely look at the roster and think they should be number 10, but yeah, the results aren't there, so it is what it is.
Yeah, my list would have been very different if I thought who were the best players, and I went through and listed that off. But
Yeah, I weighed in a tiny bit of future prospect. with the teams as
Future
well.
proved your
well, they better
list.
come top 8 next time, Amphis. So third
Yeah. I think they will. You know, Tonio's got some mech on him.
Really?
To be fair,
Yeah,
I did
man.
beat Gus in a random ranked 2s game with Tony on my team at one point. So
On a side note, Gus is
So you're a
not been
top
the
4
best
player
in
now,
twos
Yummy?
he
recently.
hasn't been good
Just
at
blame
2s.
Gus.
what?
No,
Yeah.
he hasn't. He
Yeah,
hasn't. He used to be kind of like a bit of he used to be a dominant force in the 2
Yeah.
scene, like a bit. And now he's like, he's not bad, but he's not amazing. Just
Yeah.
normal.
I think I
normal
lost
stuff.
him like 8 times in a row when he was like peaking, and now I'm better in 2s.
And you
which
actually
is
play
rare.
ranked now.
Yes, only
Amphis
partied up
demon.
though. I'm not solo queuing. Never.
Fair. That's totally fair. All right, number 9, because we can't waste too much time here, and that's going to be the person that Amphis hates. That's Global Elite. You say that they're the worst 3 players in all of OCE, Amphis.
You know, I had him in my top 10.
You
Shout
did.
out to Global Elite. I'm gonna go back on my statement of individual players. This team is the best team out of like the ones below. Like you look at them individually, they're not that good. I think Shu is quite good mechanically, but negative, no. Some
Bro,
probably
what do you
not.
mean?
Some showed some mechanics, but he also showed a lot of inconsistency with those mechanics.
Yeah,
so-
but when I was watching them, like they didn't really against the worst of teams, they didn't really end very many goals compared to what you usually see. They're quite well oiled, but I don't really see them ever beating a better team ever, to be honest.
There's no way you're disrespecting negative like that. Like he just
you
finds
put him 11,
players.
Scrub.
I just don't respect his team. I think he just like takes people. He just finds random players and he just takes them to the top 8. Like every single time. Like with a new team every split. And like this team is like, oh, they're not like terrible. I mean, I think Negative's probably the best on the team. Oh, I don't know actually. I just think Negative's like pretty talented at taking people to the top 8. And he's quite good at that.
No, he is.
he
I'm
plays a
surprised to see Shu still popping off as well, because Shu's an oldie at this point.
Yeah, but he's never like got to that top level, so I guess he's always been a bit hungry. He's like tasted some of those results, but never really like actually had them consistently. So
Is that
He's
Mr.
creeping back.
Shushu?
yes,
It is, isn't it? Yeah,
Yeah.
okay. Thought so. What a vet.
I
in the
first
scene.
saw
I know.
him.
Bring back the old name, man. That was a sick
Yeah.
name.
I remember what were their name? Something girls, just girly things. They played before RLCS was ever a thing in the Rocket League OC Championship, which
Yeah.
ran by PGTV back in the day, and they surprised everyone and managed to do really well in that tournament. So
He was a 12-y at the time.
yeah, he would have been really young.
yeah.
My one last note on negative is that I think a large reason why he's good at making top 8s is because of his play style. It's a very like safe play style where he's getting the ball out of dangerous areas. He's good at not necessarily playing under nerves, but keeping the game less nervous for his team.
Yeah, he just plays safe, and it's just good enough to beat the teams like on the same level or below him, and just get the same result. I think he's kind of stopped playing the game a bit more, like stopped caring as much, from what I've heard. But you know, he still manages to find like consistent like top 8s, and I don't know what they place this regional, but
They didn't make top 8. They lost to Serrani in the 9th-12th match.
oh, that's a pretty hard
Yeah.
9-12 match.
All right, number 8 is going to be Tata's Minions, a new entry entirely, because they're essentially a brand new team. They did play the first event. If I recall,
They're like 0-3.
If I recall, in the first event they went 0-3 in the closed quals. They did.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't know. I see those players like Creed and Tata and like ranked and stuff, and they're kind of like, I never understood how they went 0-3 in the closed calls. Like they're a lot better than most of the teams that they were losing to. I don't know. It was pretty weird.
Serrani didn't even make the Anzac day out of their open quals or whatever. So some teams just have disasters against the lower teams, I guess.
Yeah, I mean they got top 6 this regional, which to be fair, they got it with Matro, who I swear Matro is like actually good. He doesn't play.
Matro's a god, man. These dudes need to change their name.
I don't know. We played Tata. He's literally playing at a campsite. Like I saw a picture of him, and he's like playing outside on a table, and he was on 999 ping when we played him in our first round. He like, literally could hit the ball.
He averaged like 100 points. So
Yeah. I mean, it wasn't his fault. Like he wasn't bad. It was just he was lagging too hard to hit the ball.
Yeah, I don't know. You look at the individual players, and I don't know how they did that well. I don't get it, to be honest.
Well,
After 1v3.
This is the thing with like where we are as a region right now is that like you're gonna come top 6 if you've got the right run. Like that lower bracket run seems to always have that run there. They had to take down Sin City. They did have to take down 95X, which was the big surprise, I guess.
Wasn't that 3-1 as well?
Yes.
I don't know how they've allowed that.
Yeah. Matro 1v3 to my thing.
Yeah.
I don't know. Matro
But
was pretty like inspirational this
I
region.
swear Laxton should be able to just win that series by himself. Don't know what happened. Didn't watch
I swear
that one.
Laxton's kind of he's been
He's
slipping a
fell
bit
off.
recently.
Yeah.
He hasn't had the
Yeah.
best split, yeah.
It's sad to see.
Yeah. I remember we played them like I think it was the first regional or something. We played them, and they played really well. But Laxton averaged like literally like 200 points a game. Like he was doing nothing. Like his team was just popping off. I don't know. It's just been mid.
I know Max has always said these guys are very inconsistent, and Luna hates him for it. So
I mean, Max isn't wrong.
yeah.
We'll go to the number 7. 95X is number 7. Yeah. Inconsistent. I don't know. They were doing consistently well before, and then they just had a really, really, really bad event now.
Yeah, I tied these guys with Serrani. I found it hard to separate the two because like these guys have higher highs than Serrani, but obviously it was a pretty low on the weekend for him.
Yeah, I thought they should be doing way better. I don't know why they're not. I thought Vortex when they first formed, I thought Laxum was just gonna ball rush the whole time, and then Vortex was gonna go for demo runs, like just fill in all the gaps everywhere, and they should have made consistent top 5s. I predicted, But
Yeah.
there's something wrong. I think it's the way they're playing, because I think individually they should be able to work well together.
You're right. I thought Vortex would chill these guys out as well and get rid of their inconsistency. Because I forgot, what was that roster that Vortex was on? They got like top 8
Yes.
literally every regional. Yeah.
Oh,
like,
Vort Central.
That was
Vort Central.
Tango and Snowy.
Yeah. Like
Vort's
Vortex
not
is
the
like,
chill factor there. That's
Yeah,
was
we
smart,
are.
yeah.
We're relying on someone who's got no chill on game day to teach chill to
Yeah.
players.
I guess it makes sense then. Yeah, put him.
I think,
seven.
Jay, you even know that I said this 10,000 times, that I was always annoyed that Vortex is better than what he ever shows in RLCS. Like, he's had a couple of really good series, really controlling series in particular, where he's like beating everyone to the ball. But for the most part, on a lot of weekends, he just like never showed anything, and it just felt like nerves.
You'd think he'd fix that by
Yeah.
now. He's been around for a long time, but Laxon and Luna are keeping him down, I guess.
Wow.
Do they have a coach?
Yeah, Pascal.
They used to have
I
an
think.
American coach. Now who do they have?
I think it's
German
this
coach.
Pascal guy.
Yeah.
I remember. No, I remember he flamed you guys last split Amphis.
Pascal, yeah.
Oh,
When,
what? Did he?
yeah, he flamed you guys. He like called you guys like a top like 8 team or something. I don't know what he said.
It was correct.
I've called him.
Yeah.
I've called Power a top 8 too.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know.
It was perfectly
Tor
top 8
telling me.
last split.
yeah.
Yeah. Perfect.
Um,
That it was impressive, I reckon. Let's move on.
All right, well,
That was a
enough. We've
consistent
talked
effort.
about Power being 5th to 8th all the time in the second split, every single time. So, number 6 is Serrani. So did end up being a little bit tie broke above. For me, okay, going just purely off results, they've just been a team that have beaten the teams that are worse than them and have lost to the teams above them, which realistically nobody else can say, funnily enough, but definitely not 95X, because they lost to Tata's Minions this week.
Yeah, they've had the tougher side of that lower bracket as well, right? Because they've had 2 top 8 performances, but because everyone else is so inconsistent around them, they've kind of risen up to 6th.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're a decent team. Like, I mean, Finn is like the best, probably one of the best players outside like the top 3, like individually. Like, he definitely does a lot for the team. And Fades is like a player that I don't know if I'd say he has potential. Like, he's kind of had potential for a long time, but hasn't really like reached it yet.
Well, he didn't
I don't
really
know.
play last split. He played like the 3rd event on
Yeah.
the pickup team. So
He was looking
Yeah.
good on the weekend though. Fades was popping
Yeah,
off.
yeah. I think if he keeps getting better, they could be definitely like maybe like push merge and like maybe even the Him Police if Him Police don't like pick things up.
Yeah, I think if they versed Him Police in that tournament, they probably would have beat them, to be honest. I was very close to putting them above Him Police, but I don't think that's fair, because Him Police just
Yeah.
have better results, and they look slightly
you
better.
didn't even put them above 95X. How can you say you nearly put them above
Really?
Him Police, right? Put them 7, Amphis.
let me have a nosy.
Behind 95X. Don't
No,
lie
I
to
didn't.
us.
I put them
Don't
6.
lie straight to our face.
I put I've been looking at Scrubs the whole time. Okay, on a side note, Scrub list is good. Well done, Scrub.
Yeah, I know it is. It is good.
Yeah, no, that's an error. So ignore that. I think that they are 6th and they're pretty hard stuck 6th. But I do think they got unlucky by versing Merge in their knockout game, because I think that's the best Merge we've seen ever.
That's the best merge by miles.
I
yeah.
think, yeah, probably ever. Even when they formed, they weren't that good.
Yeah.
I think if they did verse Him Police, they genuinely would have won. I thought Him Police were pretty awful in that tournament, so we'll see. Hopefully they verse each other next one.
Yeah.
I think, yeah, Serrani should be doing a lot better. They could have gone top 4. So, yeah, unfortunate for them. I do think that they're a team that will get better over time, but every time I see that team play at the moment with Fades, I just want to get Finn and like inject him full of steroids or something. Just get him something that makes him confident, because he always just, now that he's got Fades on the team, he feels so in his shell. He's not like going for any plays whatsoever, and that's why they were so successful with Tango. Finn looked
Yeah,
like the
get
best
Tango
player
back
in the
on the
world
roster.
because he had Tango with him.
The The best enabler. Super lucky knows.
Tango diff. Put him on any team
Literally.
and they'll be first. He's going.
I just want Finn to be a Chad. Just know that you're able to be the best and just play like that.
Yeah, I don't think.
Finn, yeah.
I don't know if he ever will, to be honest, because I'm pretty sure that's why he got kicked in the first place ages ago from his old team. Like, he should have
much
confidence because,
Yeah,
like,
he's
he
good.
just is easily the best, especially in his current team. He's just so hard clear. So I don't know. He needs to have a bit of Chad, but I don't think it will come since it hasn't yet, and he's had time to.
If he fixes mental, he could be like actually like insane. Like he's got so
He
much
could be top
potential.
5 in the region consistently, probably. Maybe
Yeah, I
top
mean his
6.
peaks. Yeah, his peaks are really high.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we'll move on from the disappointment to another disappointment because we're going to go to number 5, and as far as I'm aware, that's Him Police. Yeah, Him Police.
Yeah.
Who were meant to be the gatekeepers of top 4, and we left the gate wide open this time.
You put Police 5. What do you mean, really?
Oh, did I? Oh.
You all put them at 5. You guys are brutal, man.
Really? Him Police at
I
5?
forgot.
I agree.
I kind of forgot it. I kind of forgot my like placements and stuff, but I guess it's kind of fair. I don't know, like, they're a team that I felt like I felt like they were just holding on to their like gatekeep spot at like number 4. Like I felt like if Merge or I thought it was 95X, I was gonna knock them off if anyone, but I guess Merge just did it this regional and showed that they are beatable to those like weaker teams.
Yeah.
It helped that Merge also just looked like better
Yeah.
than anybody else, which is nice.
Yeah, I don't know what happened with Merge. Like every time they verse us, it's just a blowout. Like it's like literally like 4 goals every game. But then the next day they just turn up and beat everyone. Or like the teams they're supposed to.
I think it's
'Cause
because
they-
they just have a high peak. Like their peak is relatively high. I think Him Police has like their high is so low compared to the teams around them. To be honest, I don't think we've even seen them play well. Like they've never said that they've played
Yeah.
well for so long. Like it's
Well,
starting to
anytime-
get a bit worrying, to be honest.
Anytime they verse like a top 3 team, it's always just 4-0 or 4-1. Like it's
Yeah.
never really close. Like I don't know, they just haven't had that like great like regional where they've like shown that they actually could beat a top 3 team if they played really well. But
It's
They
sad,
don't.
man. That's like the story of like all 3 players like individually on like every team
Yeah.
they've been on. And I was hoping, coming together they'd be able to break it, but it makes sense that it's just the same story over and over.
Yeah, I thought this
I s-
regional might have been different as well because they changed. Well, they're trying to change their play style.
They didn't look
And-
like they changed that much at all, to be honest.
Yeah, that's what I
It felt like
thought,
they
just sitting there
defaulted back
again.
to,
Yeah,
very defensive.
shelled up. Got nervous on game day, maybe. I don't know.
Mm.
Relatable.
yeah.
That's why they're such a good gatekeeper though, and it's why like Merge were that impressive. They like punished that like boring sit back play style. So it was good.
Well, I have a question because for me, like, Super Lucky made a great point. Is that like as individuals, I'm not seeing 3 of these people, these 3 players, bumping into the top 10 in terms of top 10 in the region. If you had Misty, Mock, Shores, Finn, Gus, and Laxon, and you were to rank those players as individuals, individual skill, mechanics, whatever you want to do it as, like, where's the ranking there?
They'd be bottom 3.
I'd probably put Gus over all of them because I think Gus's like peak is just like he can like take over a series, whereas I don't think anyone on the Him Police like I don't know. I think his people on the Him Police could be good, but they just don't show it. Like they just aren't like playing well on game day and stuff. It's just not clicking as a team.
I don't know. I value the consistency though. I'd still put them up there because Gus
Yeah,
is
not
Gus,
bottom 3.
Gus is certainly getting the consistency now, but like Gus, Laxon, they've been a bit like shaky, whereas these guys are like they always put in a really solid effort mechanically. They just miss that like wow factor that puts them.
I don't necessarily. I think Shaw's has at least this split been consistent, but Mock, I don't know with Mock because he has a play style that he plays that's very effective, almost like scrub light, which is a real insult to call somebody like a budget version of somebody. But he's like meant to be aggressive, up to the ball fast, opening up a lot of room for his teammates, playing disruptor as well. And sometimes he's just not doing that. He just like, I don't know if it's a confidence thing or what. And then Misty is one of the least consistent players mechanically that you ever see. And it's not necessarily mechanical, but it just feels like he's trying to play so peak at all times that he's either scoring an awesome goal or completely missing a free ball and getting scored on his own net or even own goaling. I don't know how you can call Misty consistent, Jay.
I don't know. I don't see it that way, honestly. I just see these guys as like perma park the bus team, you know? So it's like they're just chilling, not taking any risks, and then they can't beat good teams because of it. But yeah, that does sound relatable though. I've definitely seen Misty.
My problem is that I've cast every single Himbley series this split, so I've seen too much of them.
I'm just eating dinner while you're crying inside, I guess.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah, I think they have a confidence issue on game day. Like, I don't know, they just shell up on game day. They say they want to be aggressive because they know that's like the only way they can take down top 3 team, and then they just shell up because I don't know, they're just not confident.
Yeah. Again, though, I don't know. I feel like 5th is harsh to knock them down after one bad tournament, but at the same time, Scrubby, if you're saying that, and I could see your point where it's like, if you felt like they were like barely holding onto that gatekeeper spot and like Merge were like barely at the cusp, then it makes sense.
Not barely, maybe not barely, but I definitely believe that it could just switch all of a sudden. Like, I didn't think Police were like, I thought they were closer to the bottom half than they were to pushing the top 3.
Oh, of course,
Like,
yeah.
So I thought that like Merge, I thought it would have been 95x because every time we play 95x, they're actually really solid. And I thought they were way more solid than the Police were, so they could beat them at their own game. But whenever 95x come across a team that they could beat or they should beat, they just play worse. But whenever they come across like a top 3 team, they seem to play a bit better because they know they're not expected to win.
Yeah, I would have liked to see for Police to actually challenge anybody in the top 3 and be close to winning a series at minimum, to be able to say, yeah, it takes more than beating them once to overtake them for essentially what was the 5th, 6th team to overtake them. So that didn't happen. And we will talk about that. Merge is our overtaking team, number 4.
Merger PogChamp, man. Merge popped off.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I think they're just very good individually and far better individually than Police. So
I think
that's mainly Gus.
Yeah. Was this tournament these guys showing like scrim form? Like you seem to rate them pretty highly, Amphis, before.
I'm just never impressed with Police and scrims, to be honest. I don't even think it's that much that they can't perform on game day. I think it's more just how they play isn't very good. I don't know why that is or why they haven't changed it yet. But I think Merge in some of our scrims against them, they can play well. It's not consistent at all. Like, we could perfect sweep them 8 times, like some nights, and then sometimes they beat us. But I think on game day, they were just far better. Yeah, Gus played really well. But I think when you're playing individually well, it has more of an impact on game day than in scrims. Like, in scrims, everyone's more composed against solo plays. Whereas if you're solo playing really well on game day, you will get rewarded for it pretty hard.
I also think Caleb had a better weekend than we've seen for a long time, because that's been a big frustration around Caleb, is that we know he could be good, but he's been pretty mediocre for not just the first event of this split, but most of last split as well. He had a good weekend, which might have helped Gus take a bit of pressure off Gus, or at least give him a little bit more room to make plays. Cobo's always pretty consistently in that same spot. And he has potential to be to make some really good plays and be smart. So, it is interesting.
I just want to see these guys do it consistently. Again, I still think 4th is generous. Even tied 4th, I feel like would be better. But yeah, if they could do that again, like remotely consistently, then they're easily 4th best in the region.
I just
Yeah.
wonder how much better they can get. Because I wouldn't say they were peaking in that tournament, but I thought that they were very good. But when they versed us, like we were poor. I think everyone knows that we were very poor that regional. And we kind of easily beat them, I would say, in that series. It felt very easy. And we didn't really
Yeah.
feel like we could have lost that, like, at any time. So it's
I think you
kinda...
played better in that series than you did in the Tata's Minion series, at least.
Yeah, but like we're versing Tata's minions, so you have to try a little bit more. But no, like we were relatively poor, and we still like easily beat them. So it makes me wonder, can they perform against the top 3 team? And I'm not sure if they can.
The past like 4 times we've versed them, or 3 times, it's just been a blowout like every single time. Like
Yeah,
like we versed them first or second round this tournament. We versed them like I think we versed them last tournament as well. And it's the same result, like just 3-0 and like winning by like 3 or more goals every single game. And they just looked horrible. Like any goal would just go in, any touch would just go in, and they just had like no structure, and they were just bad.
Yeah, I remember one of them was saying that their defense was like terrible, and I was like, really? And then they played you guys, and yeah, it was a bit of a disaster.
Yeah.
But that's the depressing thing, man. Like the teams outside the top 3, they have to peak, they have to be consistent, and then even then, they're not even really that close. Just they really need to step up.
It leads me, and maybe we need to actually talk to them about this, is like, do they have that thought in their mind that they ever could be top 3? You know, that they're better than these top 3 teams at any point? Because like you guys agree that, or at least Amphis does, that the merge players as individuals have more potential than the Him Police. Like, are they putting in the work to then be able to go into the weekend and at least find a way, think of a way to battle against the top 3 teams? Or are they so in their heads that like, we got to get to top 4 and that's like the main goal, that they're worried more about Him Police, how to beat Him Police, Serrani, 95X, play a good game, rather than maybe even play a game that's like very disruptive and throws power off kilter?
Yeah, I actually had a question on broadcast for you guys, Amphis Scrub. Do you guys scrim merge much? Because it looks like they're just like blinded by the headlights as soon as they come up against you guys, as if they've never played you before.
I thought they'd honestly given up a bit before last regional, because we didn't scrim them once from the break from the first regional to the second regional, and then I found out Cobbo had COVID, so I think that was a big reason to why they weren't scrimming. But you know, we don't scrim them regularly because, to be honest, they're pretty terrible in scrims. Like most of the time, like
Scrub, you're a savage, bro.
no, like I believe they could be good. Like I'm trying to help them here, like give them some constructive criticism. Like they just need to like be a bit more solid. They're too like, I don't know, they go a bit too crazy sometimes, and then just leave their defense just so unstructured, and it's just so easy to score goals.
Yeah, again,
But,
you don't see that when they're not playing like a top 3 team though. It comes out in like full force as soon as it's against you guys.
yeah.
I don't
We
know.
used to
They're a
scrim
bit-
them a lot, to be fair, because they ask a lot.
Yeah,
I think
big
it
askers.
was. I think it was really early last split. We scrimmed them a lot, and we ended up. I think this is fine to say. We ended up telling them that we didn't want to scrim them anymore because like they weren't good enough. Like it was
Yeah.
better to scrim KCP, GZ, Him Police, probably even 95X, to be honest, because they're pretty good in scrims. So yeah, we ended up not scrimming them because they were just really bad. We scrimmed them once before this regional. After Cobbo felt like it, because obviously he had the COVID for a week. And I remember them. They looked okay. I'd say they looked comparable to Him Police. Like they looked similar in quality. Not impressive. Like relatively easy to beat, but nowhere near as bad as what they used to be.
They're very, very inconsistent, especially in scrims. Like there are scrims where they'll actually like they'll take it to us. Like they'll play well. They'll be like Gus will be feeling it, maybe even Caleb or Cobbo. But there are just scrims where like it happens to us where they will just lose like 8 games straight. Like they just can't win.
That's why we stopped scrimming them. It happens a bit too much. but maybe they've stopped it now. Like we've only streamed them once recently,
yeah.
and I don't think it was like a sweep or anything like that. So they
I
might have
swear they-
fixed it.
I swear the region was better last split. Like it was more competitive in that like that fourth to like sixth, like 95x and merge. Like merge are actually pretty good. Like they kept it close with us one time. It was like a 4-2 and they were winning 2-0 in the series. Like they were pretty solid. Like I don't know if I definitely think we got a lot better, but I think they've like might have gotten worse, to be honest. I mean, this regional they played well. They showed that they can do it again, but as in,
Yeah.
like, recent times.
Well, maybe
Not- not very
maybe having some scrim time off helped them like chill out, you know?
Mhm.
Because maybe
Yeah.
they were just try harding too much.
Honeymoon.
Even 95x. 95x has had like a big fall off. Like they were very, very like strong last split. And now they're just like losing to Tata's minions, I think, to get knocked out of the tournament, which is a bit.
It's Matro's
not what you
minions,
want.
bro.
So what we're saying is that Tata's minions is better than 95x, who are better than Power. So
Matro is better than 95x.
true.
Matro's nuts.
All right, let's get into our top three because that's where it's very interesting. And there were two absolute wusses that refused to split. Jake, in fact, was the biggest wuss of all because he refused to split on 3 different options. Because it was these 3. He also didn't split like Sarani 95x and also 2 of the teams that were around the top 10.
Yeah.
So, and everybody else had a very clear top 3, a very obvious top 3, Jake. So why couldn't you split them?
Well, I'm actually going to disagree with your obvious top 3. Yeah, I came with some unofficial ones, but I don't know. It's kind of obvious that everyone's tied up. Like the scores literally say it. Like I don't know. Everyone's been winning except GZ, which is why I think honestly for me, I think GZ are pretty clearly number 3. Because
Well, then why didn't you put them number 3?
At least have one like decided position, and then you can split 2.
I probably
least one.
I probably should have to let you guys have less of a say because I mean especially Amphis. Amphis is the one I'm most disappointed with. This was like serious beta male behavior, putting your own team at 3 Amphis. What on earth happened here?
I just like to use common sense, Jake. So I put us 3. I think just based off the regional, purely watching it, we're the 3rd best team right now, and I'm not going to argue it because I know it's true.
If we were just taking 2 events in a total bubble, then I could see you going 1-1-1, putting them all tied. But Power had literally the worst split of all time last split, had 1 good event and 1 bad event. So all they've done is proven that they can peak once. So I don't know.
Ooh.
I was counting Anzac Day
scrims.
quite highly
Great
as well,
in
to be
scrims.
honest. Great,
Very
it's
great.
PogChamp. Nah, I was rating Anzac Day because then even like Power head to head with GZ recently are up 3-1. So yeah, I think Power pretty clearly over GZ, and I don't think Perma second is particularly impressive. But at the same time, it does kind of suck to be Perma second and then be put to 3rd. But yeah.
Yeah, I mean, just from like playing against them, like I don't know. I gave GZ the 2nd because their consistency. Like they haven't missed a final. Like it's not fair to not put them at least 2nd. But I definitely am way more threatened about Power than GZ because GZ played like pretty similarly like every time we play them. Like obviously they like execute their game plan better than others, but definitely more threatened by Power.
Yeah. Well, I think also, Jake, if you want to use that logic too, then KCP came 3rd in Anzac Day, 3rd in the first regional, and then 1st in this regional. So surely they should also be the number 3 team.
Yeah, I mean, I thought this out and literally everything balanced each other out, which is why I put everything at first. Because there's the recency as well, which you guys obviously care about way too much. But yeah, it's like being the most recent winners is really important, and that kind of like elevates you out of the third
I
slump.
think you're not even looking at. I think you're the one with recency because you're not looking at the fact that KCP won the last event, came 3rd the first event. Everybody has an off event, and then won this last event pretty comfortably with a sub. And to me,
I don't know what to feel about the sub. I think it's
That-
I think it's pretty sick.
it's
to
not
be
the
honest.
sub is like the biggest. Like it actually removes maybe even a little bit of the positivity around KCP. But what it really does is put a huge negative marker on ground zero.
I know exactly. GZ in third, man. I don't know. I can't. Yeah, I shouldn't have
They
let you
won
guys.
7 games in a row with a sub.
That's the
shouldn't have let you
only
guys
reason
make
I
the
put us first.
separation.
That's the only reason I put us first is because we won so comfortably with a sub. And then I was just thinking, like, imagine if we actually played with Hunter, like our main roster, like we probably would have won like 8-0 on the day. I don't know.
Or
Like, if-
lost, who
if-
knows?
Maybe, I don't know.
If I put my real ratings in, Power still would have been third, so it doesn't
Uh-huh.
matter.
Yeah, you were overwhelmed.
Weren't you just saying GZ third like a million times?
Yeah, but I'm
No,
saying
he's
I'm-
saying that even if he put that ranking in, it wouldn't have made a difference to.
Oh,
result.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
But I bet if Amphis did, it would have. So Amphis is
Mm.
truly a beta male. I can't believe it.
So
And Amphis,
Amphis, you guys suck.
literally Amphis. Yeah, I'm not sure I want to even predict you guys this weekend after that prediction for yourself. That's
I
don't
think
know
you
about
wouldn't
that
want
one,
to
man.
predict us based off the performance, not the prediction.
Dude,
But we'll
I don't
see.
know.
Oh.
I don't know, man. You guys have been good up until last weekend. Like bad tournaments happen, but
Yeah.
Put-
What do you
so
mean
just-
they've been good up until last weekend?
Dude, there's been a massive.
They played
We won
one-
2 tourneys.
they played a
We
good
won 2
event.
tourneys.
Yeah.
Woo!
They peaked
I
for
don't
a
know.
week between the end of one tournament and the beginning of the next tournament.
I guess as well for me, it's like Winter Splint was like forever ago. The major, literally nothing power rankings special happened there. So I don't know. Recently, power's been good, man. That's all I'm saying.
That one tournament.
The
True.
Anzac Day as well, man. You guys are on the RLO podcast. How can you just not care about the Anzac Day
Honestly,
tournament?
Honestly, screw the Anzac Day Invitational. Terrible tournament, and nobody should think about it because you know what it's called? The Scrimvitational. And as we know, Power are good in scrims. They just can't convert it every time to game day, huh?
Yes. We can convert it 20% of the time based on the last 5 regionals. That's not that bad. Maybe it is pretty
Well,
bad,
it's
but,
pretty. You,
know,
need
we'll
to
see.
convert it at least 33%.
Yeah.
I'd say.
No, we're in the workshop. We'll see how it goes. We'll see what happens.
If you get the next one, it's what, 2 from 6?
3 Scrimvitational, so 3 from 6, 3 from 7,
Okay,
something
yeah,
like
yeah,
that.
Yeah,
That was a great little tourney. Love that one. GG's everyone. I enjoyed that.
Also, since we've been talking about every team, we should move up through them. Number 2 is Ground Zero. That's already been spoiled. So we'll talk very briefly about Ground Zero. Do we think they are going to make the major?
I
I'm
don't know.
gonna go
Come on.
yes. I think they will
Because you think you guys are gonna lose.
because we are going in as first seed. Tango, after being all perfect,
we'll take you down.
being the perfect player in regional
We'll take you
2,
down finally.
He's gonna have a shocking regional 3. The ego is gonna get to him, even though I'm pretty sure he's one of the most humble people in the world.
Zero ego. He won the region.
Yeah.
He still thinks he's bad.
Yeah,
Is
but,
Tango
you know,
playing Saturday and Sunday, or just
No,
No,
Sunday
just
again.
just the Sunday.
Sunday.
So you guys can get in the grand final Saturday
Yeah.
and be chilling.
Well, no, upper
No,
bracket
we will get top
final.
3.
Top-
Get top 3.
Oh yeah, right. Oh, it's
So
all down to Tango again.
We do have to win with Tango, but we've said to him like we didn't expect to make the major this split when we found Hunter can't play. So like if we miss out on this major this split, like we won't be disappointed.
Yeah, you still got Worlds, even if you
Yeah.
lost.
Yeah. Worlds is the big picture.
Who's making land, Scrub?
I'm gonna back my team. I'm gonna say Tango will have another masterclass, and then I'll say Power because I hope you'll hit the workshop and actually be good. So I don't know. I'd say it's tough to say honestly. Like, I feel like any combination of teams could make it depending.
Yeah, sounds like
Has-
you want to rank everyone equal first. Then, Scrub, if that's your prediction.
As a pure outsider, though, Scrub, do you think that this loss from Power is going to damage their mental like it felt like it was throughout the last split?
clearly has Amphis or whatever.
Damage their mental. Oh, I don't know. I mean, it did in the past it has damaged them. They've kind of kept getting the same results. But I reckon this will be different. I reckon they'll bounce back after this one and they'll be decent at least.
We're 50-50 on our mentality recovery so far. Split 1, we did the perfect one. Split 2, let's skip, and then this one's the big one.
I think split 2 was like the thing that actually, puts that little bit of doubt in your mind, because now you have had one where you've had a bad event and then haven't come back afterwards. So like before it was always assumedly easy because you're like, well, that's just one bad event. But then now that one bad event can cascade into more.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think that's the reason why we're losing though. Like that's not in our heads really at all. I think the big one is just converting from scrims to game day, because I think Scrub, you could probably agree we are top 2 in the region just purely based off scrims.
Top one in the world.
Yeah, probably. No, like we have days where we're just like, if we play like that on tourney, we'd probably sweep everyone. But it's converting that, trying to find the right balance between everything on game day.
Isn't that a mental issue?
I wouldn't know. Not for us right now. I don't think so. Obviously it is to some degree, but I wouldn't say entirely no. Not for us.
What is it if it's not mental?
I feel like that's like the
style.
definition.
If you can pull off the play style.
Yeah, but isn't your mentality
like
what messes it up?
No, I'm losing faith. I'm losing faith as he talks more and more.
Wait, what did you say, Jake?
What do you mean? Being able to convert the playstyle is like purely mental, right? Like, why aren't you playing the playstyle on game day as you are in the same playstyle on game day as you are in scrims? It's because you're a little bit more nervous, you're a little bit more worried.
No, what I'm saying is it's possible that we're doing the same playstyle, but it's impossible to pull it off on game day if you're not playing good individually. Sorry.
But you're not playing good because you're
Why are you
nervous.
not playing good?
Are you just saying it's like you guys are just getting unlucky to have bad mechanical days? Because isn't like the mentality affecting your mechanics?
Well, I don't think how you play mechanically, I don't think that's a mentality, to be honest. I don't think
so. You're being unlucky
at all.
That's what you're saying.
It sounds unlucky.
Yeah, it's all luck. It's all luck. No, I think even if we are getting unlucky with mechanics days, if that is a thing, it's our fault that we can't pull off the playstyle. It's our fault that we've picked the playstyle that you can't pull off when you're playing bad. Sorry. So I think that's what we've also brought up, and we're working pretty hard this week. So hopefully we see some changes.
Good luck, man. It'll be fun if you pull it off.
And so, Jake, also since you tied up the first 2 and put Ground Zero third, does that mean you think that Ground Zero won't make the major?
Again, I still think tied first, so I have no clue. But if I was to guess, I still don't even want to guess because I have no clue about Pioneers playing with a sub. I still think it's ridiculous that Tango
What do you
won the
mean?
tournament. I don't know, Scrub. It's pretty baller, but it's so funny.
It was a dominant tournament as well. Like
This is the real problem, and it stems back to what I very first said on this podcast. There's so many question marks around every single team, It's not like, yes, this team's better than the other one. It's like, are Pioneers going to be able to perform again with a sub? Are Power just shit now? Is Ground Zero going to be bad enough to lose to sub Tango? Like, what's going to go on? Like, it's not great
honestly,
signs.
I just feel like GZ may have lost their winner's mentality, man. Because, like, again, they've been just second placing everything. You'd think by chance they'd at least have won something in a while. So, for me, that's why...
We used to have that problem as well.
Also, KCP are number 1, by the way.
Yeah, KCP are number 1. So, yeah, I'm honestly probably backing Pioneers and Power.
That's nice.
If I had to choose, again, I'm kind of just rolling the dice at this point. But, yeah, if I had to choose, that's what I'd do.
I think it is pretty impossible to pick because I think if we won that tournament with Hunter, I think we would be the safe option to pick. But because we won it with Tango, it's like it's hard to know if we're gonna perform that well again with Tango.
Well, Hunter better
Hopefully.
make sure he doesn't fall to the lower bracket on day 2.
That'd be
that's his only
epic,
job.
man.
Scary,
That'd be sick. Oh, that would make Tango the GOAT. Come on.
Amphis, does it
Oh.
make you mad that Ground Zero get the free side of the bracket every single time?
Yes.
Um,
For me.
I know
it
I
does.
have a different opinion than other people. I think this split, no, because they deserve it. This split, to be honest. Last split, slight tilt because they didn't deserve it. Like I think everyone could agree they didn't deserve it, but I don't know this split. I think they do. Like they were the best team last split, therefore they get the best seed this time and they get the free-ish run. So
I mean,
I don't really see an issue with it.
There is no like free side of the bracket because you still have to win against a top team to make the final to get that bracket reset. So
Yeah,
yeah,
and
I guess
this
it's more-
this weekend it doesn't even matter essentially for you guys. Yeah.
yeah, I mean, last split it was definitely more tilting than now because last split they didn't really like deserve it. Like they won the first tournament, like sure, but get the easy side again, and us and Power have to play each other top 8 twice. Kind of unfortunate, but I don't know.
Yeah.
I think
Does the
especially with double
seeding
elim.
does the seeding matter at all? Really?
Not really. Like it's all in your hands basically.
It's just the
'cause-
first team to lose 2 essentially, and if you guys,
Yeah.
it doesn't really matter where you are in the bracket, just don't lose.
I think it
Yeah.
does slightly matter for Pioneers in this one, just because again the sub factor. You want to just have like Tango in the upper bracket final. I feel like.
Yeah, just
having the
maximize that
cushion.
chance, yeah.
Of losing.
And Tango looked better later in the day as well. So
After a bit more.
Yeah,
time.
he got warmed up a bit.
Scrub, I want to see you and Banana Head peaking again though. That was a sick performance. You gotta do it again.
Yeah, I mean, Tango definitely makes it easy, like, because his only job, well, what he does is he only plays for us. Like, he just fully respects us and just tries to let us do what we want. I mean, I didn't really, like, peak per se playing with Tango. I definitely played well, but it was definitely more Banana that peaked playing with Tango. Just letting Banana Head do his thing when he's playing, when he's feeling it.
Yeah, I think Scrub literally played better on day
Against
2
Power.
than
Yeah.
against Power.
Yeah.
Oh,
than
that
he did on
backboard
day
double.
3. Yeah.
Scrubby, I know you
Yeah,
remember
the
it.
angle one, yeah.
Oh, yeah,
Decent.
the last
You
game.
you definitely saved that
On your-
replay. I know you
Yeah.
did.
Yeah. It was
Don't say on your
head.
head because
Yeah,
no, it
it
wasn't. Was it? No, but well, it was over my head, but like, it wasn't my fault. No, not my fault.
I don't know.
Skip.
There was a
skip,
demo
skip.
involved there too, right? Hunter was going for demos, bumps.
I don't know.
I don't know, it was
I
just-
erased that.
I think
don't
Hunter
even
had a
remember what
double
happened.
bump at the same time as you going for the double.
Yeah. It was the dagger.
Yeah,
Put Amphis to sleep.
they did a they did a they did a playstyle masterclass on us in that series. I don't know who helped him or anything like that. I don't know, but it was great.
Yeah.
It was a
Mhm.
great
I don't know.
great little performance.
Yeah.
All right. Well, any last thoughts before we say goodnight?
I'm chilling, man.
Um,
I'm chilling.
Pretty
What do you
some
predict? Dave has
predictions.
asked for predictions. We all just predicted who's going to the major. That's the same thing. I guess who's going to
We
win
need-
this regional?
Who's gonna win?
Right.
I want to say
backing the
Tang.
boys.
I want to say Tango, but it's hard. I'll just say Tango. I don't know. I feel like Tango's like the perfect sub. Like I feel like his playstyle just makes him so consistent. Whereas it's on Banana and I. Like it's not really on Tango so much because I feel like the way he plays is like really easy to like replicate over and over again.
I believe in the redemption arc. You got this, Amphis. I'll go with Power.
Thank you, Jake.
Any ground
That's the
zeros?
confidence we need.
Amphis?
Yeah, I'll go GZ. No, I'm joking. I'll go. We'll clutch up. I believe we're looking good in scrims already. Not gonna leak the results from today, but it's confidence building slowly.
Can we know who you scrimmed today? Because I'm just saying it wasn't me.
GZ and him, please.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Some strong scrims today.
Yeah, it was good. It was a good little. We counted it as day one after the big meet.
But we
when
know
discussed
you can
everything.
do it in scrims. That's not the problem. We know you can do
Yeah,
it.
yeah, I know.
That's not the problem.
We'll see. 50-50. We'll just leave it up to chance. We'll see what happens.
All I want to see is Ground Zero and Power rotate better than they did last weekend instead of bumping each other constantly, not being running back to back corner boost over and over again with 2 players.
Can
honestly,
you say this all again, Yami? I'm writing it down.
Okay. Okay, just watch what KCP did, where they were able to have a player cutting without both players committing at the same time, and you'll be fine.
Yeah, but you can't do a KCP because no one else
I
is Tango. You
I
can't
know your
oppress
team misses
someone that hard
Express.
to play like Tango. Like we can't.
I
be doing
know
that.
your team misses Express, but you don't need to all embody him in the one series, you know?
Yeah. Don't diss Express like that. He's a beast. Love that guy.
Yeah, he is a beast, but he also has a positional maneuver named after him for a reason.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's going to be us for tonight. Fantastic episode. Lovely guests. Great insights as usual. Thanks, Amphis, Scrub, and Jake, and we will see you in 2 weeks.
Thank you.
Later.
Thanks.